Bitrix24 is a collaboration platform. It has a large number of tools that are delivered from the cloud. We're talking about the Bitrix24 cloud service today. There is an on-premise version, but what I will be showing you is in the cloud. It is a framework that holds a large number of classic tools for collaboration, like tasking and project management. The drive, okay, that is file sharing. Okay. Calendars, and then it also has a CRM in it. Okay, so in a way, it's two products. It's a fully fledged social collaboration platform, and it is a CRM. And mixed in with this are communications tools and some other company enterprise type tools like CRM. So telephony. It has a mobile app, there's a desktop app to it. Inside the product there is chat and video, and it has several other tools to help you keep people on the same page, and all of these things are very well integrated with each other. So when you open up Bitrix24, you get a screen that looks like this, where there's an activity stream going right down the middle, and this is, of course, sensitive to the given user. Each user will see the discussions, posts, and the various other things that appear in the stream that directly pertain to that person. So here is, for example, a task where I'm not mentioned specifically, but clearly I am a participant or an observer in that task, so I can see it. My demo person is Danny White. Okay, so you see that here I've started a I've started a discussion. Here's an announcement that I gave. Let's find something that I did not initiate. Okay, here's a wiki post in a work group. All right, and I'm a member of that work group, so I can see that. Here's something to all employees. Okay, so everybody sees only the things that pertain to them directly. There is a planning tool here. You have a list of tasks and a list of events. This stuff up here is available only in the Pro version. The clock in and clock out features and the daily summary. That is available only in the professional plan, which is the top cloud plan. It is also available, of course, in the on-site. Generally, everything that I show you is available in the free version. I will make a note of it. It is not. Each user has their own workspace here. So if I open that up, I'll get a list of my tasks. As you can see, there is a little task widget over here where all these numbers, let's see, 1 plus 3 plus 8 is 12. Okay, so here, that's where that 12 comes from. And what that means is that in these various categories, whether they are set by me or whether I'm participating or whether I'm directly responsible, if a task is overdue or has not yet been viewed at all or does not have a deadline set, I will get a little note saying that it needs to have some attention paid to it. Okay, so the overdue ones are in red, and then the others are in other colors. Up here, these are all filters, okay, and then you also have projects is simply these work groups, okay. Work groups and projects are used interchangeably in our product, and inside each filter, I can choose what types of tasks to, according to their status, that I want. Over here in the all, this is, very quickly, let me show you this. In the all, this is important because from here, I can use the extended filter, and I can start filtering by multiple fields. Like I can name the task, or I can, name a work group here, and create a filtered list of exactly what I want to see. okay, from all the tasks, completed or otherwise. Okay, that extended filter is only available from the All button here. Right. Question came up, what's the difference between the desktop version and the version you are currently presenting? There's a webinar on that tomorrow. Yeah, by desktop, I think you mean the on-premise version. Okay, there's a webinar on that tomorrow. You can look up on the site and take a look at that. When you create a new task, you get a form like this. You can name it. You can name responsible people, add participants, set a deadline. Okay. Track time spent. This is going to be checked by default. It's a very convenient little feature on this. And then you can also associate the task with a given work group as needed. Right? There is a full task form, which is significantly more extensive. And in this, there are several additional options. You can go ahead and start making your checklist here. So you can say like step 1 of the task, step 2. Okay. Now, anything that you see here can be added later when you edit a task. Right? But a couple things I wanted to show you is you can make tasks repeatable. Okay, according to a weekly, monthly, or yearly schedule. If you do weekly, it doesn't have to be once a week. It can be any number of times per week. Okay. And then also you can, using these buttons, you can create a task that has a relationship to an existing task. It might be the parent task of an existing task, or it might be a subtask underneath that parent. I'm going to cancel out of that. I'm not actually going to create a new task right now. The tasks can be, you have various options simply here from the table. As you can see here, I've got a subtask under this one. Oops, there it is. Okay, you can have any number of levels nested underneath the task, okay. And you can also come from under here. You can create task templates. Okay, and tasks, of course, can also be exported to Outlook and exported to Excel. This, let's go ahead and, I don't want all, let's go ahead and go with maybe this one. And let's take a look at the Gantt chart very quickly. So there's a Gantt chart. This maybe isn't the best demo data, but when you hover on a task, you get a little snapshot out of it. You can extend the deadlines simply from here, and you see that this is when the task was created, and this inner arrow is when the task was actually set as in progress. Okay, so on each task you get you have a status. Okay, and now I was talking about that time tracking. Time tracking is very useful because with these little play pause buttons, you can say, okay, look, I'm working on that right now. Okay, and then so after I've worked on that for a little while, let's say I'm working on that one. Okay, so it tells me, well, you're going to pause this one to start working on that one. And I say, yes, that's what I want to do, and now I'm working on that one. Okay, and then this will show up in the task reports. Okay, in the reports. Let's just open up the top report. There are several standard reports. You can edit these. You can go in, you can make a copy and change it a little bit, or you can just create a completely new one with whatever columns and whatever filter here. Okay, simply by going to the edit report page, you'll be able to adjust what columns are here and what columns show up in the filter. And as you can see, I've got several tasks here according to their various statuses, and then I get the totals at the bottom, and I get the time spent and the time spent total. So if I were to filter this according to, say, the work done for one client or work done by one employee or whatever, I would be able to see, using the reporting period, the user responsible, I would be able to see all of that data. Obviously, this is particularly useful in work groups because a work group, the tasks in a work group all pertain to whatever that work group's theme is, whether it is work with one given client, the work of a given department, or perhaps the work of one given team, internal project or sales team or something. So you would get a full view of that, and that's pertinent because you might have different people creating and different people responsible for tasks. So rather than trying to make a filter with all of those variables, you can just come into the work group and look at all of the tasks that pertain to that particular work group. Work groups themselves can best be described as miniature intranets. Okay, so like the personal workspace area, okay, you've got where you've got tasks and a drive, that's file sharing, and some other things here, calendar. You have those same tools up here. Okay, so drive, tasks, calendar, photo, wiki. Lists is only in the professional. Right? So I've got a marketing and advertising stream, okay, right here. Now, like the stream in the very front, okay, the main activity stream, there is a default recipient. Okay, here it's all employees, and if I go up into the group, it's just that group. In either case, I can delete that and make it somebody else. I can choose the exact people that I want to send a given message to, no matter where I am. Okay, I can choose from the departments. Okay, this comes from the company structure. I can choose from other groups, and I can choose individual users. Okay. So in this, I can I can name the new discussion. This is important, right? In this, I can make it. Let's go ahead and make it an announcement. Okay, I can do polls here. I can attach files. I can actually even create a file using Google Docs. But what I can do here most easily is simply grab a file from my Windows Explorer and just pull it onto there. I don't know if I've got here. Here, let's just do that one. Let's put some music in there. Okay, so I've attached a file. I've made this an announcement. I could just make it a regular message, and I'll go ahead and send that. Okay, the things to note here are that you can make a you can initiate all manner of things directly from the activity stream. In fact, in the main stream, you can even initiate an event, a calendar event, and then the people that are here will be invited to that event. Okay, so moving back to here, you see that this is an announcement. Okay, so I need to mark that I've read this announcement, and I already see the people who have already read this. All right. The tasks, or each group has roles. Okay, so you've got an owner, you've got moderators, and then you've just got regular members. And the important thing there is that in their feature settings, especially with tasks, photo galleries, you can see who's allowed to edit the photo gallery. Okay, same with tasks. View tasks, view all tasks, view private tasks, view all tasks, create, edit all, okay, and delete all tasks. So you can change this. You can say, well, I really want everybody to be able to edit all of these, okay, because somebody might get some information and need to mark it in there immediately. So the groups can kind of be thought of as a miniature intranet for various purposes. Like I said, a department, a sales team, or work with a given client. Now, Extranet, in the cloud service, the Extranet is simply a set of work groups to which you can invite an external user. There is basically no difference, but if I log into this as that external user, I will see a limited version of my workspace. I will not see that. I will not see work groups. I will not see the CRM. I will see employees, but under employees, only the members of the group will show up. I will not see anybody else. Okay, and of course, I will not see anything else that's down here or that. Okay, so your extranet group, your extranet users are your clients, your contractors, or somebody that should only be able to see that particular group and their own profile, and that's it. And that, honestly, what that does is it makes communicating with them a lot easier, because that means you're not sending files back and forth by email. You're not always looking for the most recent copy of the file. You've got it placed right here in the file. In the stream or in the file drive to share files, to show the discussions. You can make phone calls. Actually, that's actually true telephony. You can make voice calls, voice calls and video calls inside the inside the Bitrix24. So you can actually do teleconferencing for up to 4 people, including your extranet users. All right. You would need to create an extranet group for each of your client companies, because obviously you do not want them to see each other. All right. So coming down here, suppose we created Bitrix24 because we needed the CRM. That is true for many of you. Right? You came to Bitrix24 because you're looking to work in the CRM. Now, the CRM has its own stream as well. All right? This is a very convenient thing. The main thing that I use this particular stream for is if I have some kind of just quick note that I want to put in about a given user, I can just say, I had lunch with this person. I don't need to say more than that. And then I can actually just come down here and I can start typing. I remember the guy's name was Tom. Okay, so yeah, okay, here it is. I'll go ahead and put it there. That actually showed up as one was a contact and the other was a lead. So that was why I was there twice. So I can just send that like that. And that means that if I go to that contact, I will see in his stream that, just a note. Okay. Now, I am actually the responsible person for this, but if I weren't, as long as I have access to him, I can make that note. Okay. So in this page, in the contact detail page, I can manage all of the activities and interactions that I have with this person. We'll get to that, but just straight from this stream, I can make very quick notes about things that I've been doing, and also this does give a synopsis of recent events in the Customer Relations Manager module of Bitrix24. Okay, activities. So this shows the interactions that have been going on recently. If I have upcoming activities, they will show up here I can sort by deadline, and so I can come in here and I can say, oh, these are the next few things that I need to do. All right. But what I'd really like to do is go ahead and start with leads, okay? Because with most sales processes, you start with leads and then convert them to contacts and work with individual deals, transactions, from there. So a lead might just be an email and a name. It might, perhaps you've purchased a list of leads. Okay, perhaps you're finally moving that giant Excel file into a more manageable program. Okay, but in which case you would import from Excel into your leads. When you have, let's remove. No, here? Let's remove a couple of these things. I won't look at responsible either. Okay, so let's get rid of a couple of these columns. There. When you look at your leads, okay, you've got filters up here at the top. Okay, I'm going to go to the all open filter. Okay, you can set the filters here. Okay, so all open simply means that the status is not converted, not junk, and not lost. It is one of those. Okay, and then and I can add additional fields here if I so desire, and that's true on any of these filters. So you can create your own filters up here. This thing that just says filter, that includes all of these things, and then right now I've got it applied to. I've got a few criteria here. So it's giving me these those leads, but the filter one is generally just a list of all the leads, and then you can apply whatever filter you want if you need to make a custom made filter right at that moment. If you have like I said, like with this all open, I use that one a lot, so I just turn that on and I can see all the statuses of the open leads. In this interface, you have various grid functions. Okay, so this does the whole page. If I do that top one, down here at the bottom for all, look at this warning, please. Apply action to all the records on all the pages. Okay, I only have one page, but if I had 60 pages of 20 leads each, it would be applied to all of these. Okay, so be very careful. The top one just does just the page you're on. The bottom one does everything. Okay. Once you do mark some of these, you can edit, you can delete them, you can send messages or tasks or whatever. Okay. So there's a lot of interaction that you can do from right here. Okay. I can send this person an email. I can send this person a template of an email. All right. So and it plugs in his name. Okay. And I can just send that right out. All right. I can say, okay, you know what? I did just call him, and I need to move the status up. Okay, like that. And if I go ahead, let's go ahead and open up the detail page. Okay, and from here, I've got the stream, I've got the activities. I can send an email from here. Another useful button, the phone call. Okay, suppose I just called him. I say, the call is complete. Details determined. He decided for sure what he's going to buy. What options he's going to put into the package of whatever it is that he's buying. Okay, and so I go ahead and save that because I just did that, and I mark it as complete. Okay. Now, if I had a call that, if I want to plan a call for, next week, there it is. You just move the date up, keep the status as pending, and, call to close, for example. There, just like that. Okay. Right. And so here, simply by moving the deadline like that, I'll have the next thing I need to do will be listed right there on top. Okay, and that'll show up also right here. If you're done with a lead, okay, you can mark the end, and you can convert or you can junk the lead. If the lead, if it didn't work out, they don't need what you got. It happens. But if you convert it, then you go to, you hit convert, and you go to a screen that looks like this. Exactly when you're going to convert the lead is going to depend on your business model. Okay, it might be when you actually do make live contact. Okay, it might be when they do actually make a purchase. Okay, it just depends on how long your sales process is and where you want to mark the break-off points. Right? So it'll pull in the data of this person that I have from the lead as, whatever data I have in there. I can add anything that I want here, and of course I can add things later as well. A lead is always converted into a contact. A lead is generally a person. A contact is generally a person. I mean, there is a last name and a first name and things like that. You can convert this to a company at the same time, in which case it will pull in whatever information it's got. And then I can also select from a list, meaning if this is a new lead but it's a company that we've worked with before, I can match it up with an existing company. I'd like to go ahead and create a new company, though. Yeah, I can put in whatever else I want there. And then I can also create a deal here. Now, if I had an opportunity amount in the lead, that would go into this field. But suppose I don't, and I'll just go ahead and put it 900 there. And then I can set the stage for that. Suppose I did go ahead and send him a price or something, and then go ahead and save that. Okay, so now this person, I'm creating a new contact. I'm creating a company and a deal, and you will see that here. Let's go to the created field, and we'll click on that a couple of times, and he's right here at the top because he's the most recent one added. And you see that I've got, I've now got the contact of Herman Moore, and I've got the associated deal. Okay. I've got the associated company right here. Okay, so I can, and I even can go back to the lead. Now, after you convert a lead, you can't really edit it anymore. Okay, because the lead is completed. Okay, you should be doing all of your interactions in the contact from here on. But you can, you do have a convenient link, and you can take a look at the lead at that time. Telephony in Bitrix24 is hooked up into the CRM. Okay, it is also available from here. Okay, I can just enter whatever number in there, but I can just hit that button, say yes, do call him, and I start making this call. Okay, I will go ahead and X out of that because I don't actually want to make a call. But that call, if I complete that call, that will be logged as an activity here in the activity stream. And in fact, there is even the opportunity to record the call. We'll get to some other telephony options in Bitrix24. We have a very strong partnership with a telephony provider, so you can actually rent phone lines, and you can actually have incoming calls, outgoing calls, call routing to the responsible person, etc. The CRM has reports. Okay, this is very much like, the interface is very much like the task reports, and as you can see, you can report on deals. Okay, you report on products, leads, invoices, and also manage your activities. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. As you can see, again, a filter over here, various columns down here. Okay, and like I said, you can edit these reports, you can make copies of them, etc. So here you see that this person's been pretty busy. This person's been less busy, but more doing something, and these people haven't done a whole lot. The sales funnel, okay, is also one of the most useful reports in the CRM. So you have all these deal stages, and then you have your I don't know. I created two deal stages, like closed and lost, and then like really lost. I'm not quite sure. I was showing somebody something, and I put that in. Very important. Where do these deal stages come from? Where did those lead statuses come from? And what about, what if I need to what if I need to mark a client's shoe size? You know, it's stuff like that. You go to settings. Okay, so settings is here, and settings is also here. Down, give me just a moment. There. Okay, CRM settings. Okay, so I've opened up the settings tab now. This is where you configure your CRM to do what it is that your business actually does, or that I would be better off saying to represent what it is that your business actually does. So here are my lead statuses. I've got fresh, I've got responsible, I've got on hold, lost lead, closed, and won. Okay, there are 3 of them that are mandatory for the system's operation. The rest of these can be deleted. All of them can have their names changed. Sources, so this is lead sources. Okay, very useful. I'm not sure that you need 30 of them. We put in a lot here for the demo, but contact type. Okay, so that affects contacts, not leads. These were for leads. That's for contacts. Company type, obviously for companies. All right. Number of employees for companies, the industry of companies working in. Now onto deals. Types of deals. Okay, very likely that you'd want to mark if something's just a regular sales, or you know, integrated, or sales after service, something like that. Deal stages. Okay, here are the levels of your CRM, the levels of your sales funnel. Okay, so right there, you know, in development, waiting for details, price proposal report, things like that. Okay, in development, price proposal, price quote. Okay, again. 3 of these are mandatory. You see that this is the bottom one, and so that's, you know, those anything underneath this last this last one is going to show up down here at the bottom. Okay, not in the sales funnel itself. Okay, the sales funnel ends with closed and won. Anything beyond that goes into the bottom one. All right. Invoice statuses, quote statuses. Okay, so you can make quotes and invoices from that. Okay, so that was just the selection lists. Okay, settings. Okay, that's selection lists are just one of the things in the settings. There are a lot of things here. You really should take some time to look through these. And also, up here, top right corner, there's a question mark. You can go into here. There are videos about various features, and as you can see, there are several concerning the CRM. Well worthwhile. Access permissions. We don't have time to cover that now. Reasonably important, especially if you've got like separate sales teams, or at least sales people who need not to see each other's leads. Okay, so you will see how to do that in that video. Currency, taxes, locations, payments and invoices. All of that, you know, you need to put in all of that in order to get invoices and quotes out of the system. Access permissions, I'd like to pass on that and have you look at the video. Business processes, we're not, let me show you something here. Down here in my web messenger, I've got a notification. The notification says there was a conversion to, okay, lead status conversion. In the lead, Herman Moore. Okay, remember, that's the guy, that's the lead I converted. All right, I got that because I have created a business process. Okay, so now I'm going over to my business process tab. I created a business process inside the leads. Okay, here are the templates for these business processes. That is a notify me upon lead conversion. Okay, and if we take a look at what that does, we will see a flow chart that simply says, did the lead get set to conversion? Yes or no? Okay. What does yes mean? Well, let's look at the settings here. Yes means that the condition type, document field, okay, there are other condition types. Don't worry about them right now. The document field known as status, okay, so here's a list of all of the different fields that I can including my custom fields, including shoe size. Okay, the document field status has a value equal to converted. Okay, that's it. Okay, now I could put this as not set and actually say it's got a value equal to, you know, one of these other things. Of course, for status, I wouldn't want to do that. For status, I would have to have it converted. But if I said, make it so that if the shoe size is equal to the date or something, any condition can be put in there. Okay, so if that is true, it will follow this path, and it will send a message to D. White. That's this person. Okay, and you see that the message is there was a converted status to converted in the lead called date printable. That's the name of the person. Okay, so so that's where that message came from. If that condition is not true, it just ends, and no, nothing is nothing's done. This is just I just left that blank. So anything that doesn't meet that criteria goes to there, and the business process ends. Like I said, we did do a webinar on business processes last week. It is available for download from the site. Back to settings, custom fields. I showed you how I showed you shoe size. Okay, the way I did that, each custom field must be created according to the CRM object type. If you want a custom field, if I have shoe size here in leads, okay, like that, it's a text because you might be like triple E, right? If you have a custom field there, and then you go back and you have a custom field in contacts that's the same shoe size, okay, as you see, I don't, but if I made one that was entitled shoe size of text type, then in the conversion, that value would get transferred into the other, into the field for the contact. Okay, so you can create your own fields, use them in business processes, display them in the table, etc. Back to settings. Product properties, don't worry about that so much. Email integration, this is very important. You can set up your a Gmail address. Now, I've kind of ruined this particular Gmail address, but at any rate, you can put in a Gmail address, put in the login information there, and check this box, create lead for unknown sender, and that means that any email sent to that address doesn't have to be Gmail. It does have to be a POP3 server. A lead will be made from that email, okay? And so you'll get a new lead right into it. It'll show up in the mailbox, but it'll get pulled out of the mailbox, and a lead will be created from that. And you do have the option to delete the original messages. I don't overly recommend doing that, but as you can see, every 2 minutes, this thing checks that mailbox for anything new. Okay. You can, for advanced users, there are ways to make sure that that messages get appended to the proper CRM object, whether it is a contact or a lead. But if a copy of an email is sent to this address, it will append it according to the information that is given. It is given, mainly the email address of the lead or contact. Are there specific parameters how to import new leads into Bitrix from Excel? Yes, there is a video about that right here, importing leads. Okay, that is done from the leads list right here. Okay, so the main leads list, that little gear import, and you go there. It must be a CSV file. Okay, you can make CSV files from Excel, but it must indeed be a CSV file. Last thing I want to show you is the email templates. Email templates is one thing that non-administrators can see and can use. You can create an email template, and as you saw, I applied that. To that email that I created to that lead. The parameters need to be the templates pertain to a given object, whether it's a lead, deal, contact, or company. Okay, so if you need the same thing for leads and contacts, you will have to make it twice. Okay, you would say you would say like call request response lead, call request response contact. All right. All right. So I think we're through the settings. I can't begin to explain how important it is, because I don't want you going into the CRM and thinking that you can't make it do what you want it to do. You can, and that all starts here. Question, is there a webinar tomorrow? Tomorrow being the 6th of December, concerning the self-hosted version? Yes, there is. I'll get some information about that in a moment, or toward the end. All right. All right. Now that we've been talking about the CRM, this is where the settings, the permissions for the CRM come from. Okay. So in the CRM, suppose you have sales and then you have sales team A. The fact that there is a given department, okay, each of these blocks is a department or a sub-department, but basically it is a department. So in the CRM, you can say, okay, this person is allowed to see only her own leads, meaning only the ones that she is responsible for. Or you could say she can see her own leads and only those for which her team is responsible. Okay, or you can just say all. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Also, as you saw in the activity stream, you can send a message to an entire department. Okay? The workflows that I showed you, the workflows know that this person is the supervisor of these people. So it is possible to say, okay, if this person made a request of some sort, this is the person who has to approve it. Whereas if this person makes the same request, it's going to go to this person. Right? So this is one of the little tools that it's on its face it's obviously convenient, especially for people just coming into the company and say, okay, like, who is this person? What does he do? And where does what department does he work in? But it is also one of the tools that very much holds the product together. This is, the access, the discussions can use the information that you put in here. Absence chart. This is one of the HR functions, so you can see who's been absent and who's not. Administrators can put in new absences of different types. Okay, so if somebody's going to New York later this month, okay, I'm gonna add that. Now I'm back here in. I forgot to check a person. Okay, so I added a person there. Okay, and so you see here, just a moment. Okay, so there it is. Going to New York for all of that time. Right? So, and this can be, if you create an event and you say out of office, it will be added to the absence chart. Okay, same thing in the calendar. There is a, away from office option. Right? So, a couple of very important things down here. Intranet settings. Okay, so you can change the name that shows up here. Okay, in the paid versions, you can remove the 24. In the paid versions, you can add your logo here. Okay, in fact, I think I've got that down here. Yeah, see, company logo. Okay. You can turn the CRM off. If you're not going to use the CRM and you don't want it visible to your people, just go ahead and turn it off. These other things, Extranet, time management, work reports, meetings and briefings, these are all in the paid, in the top version. Well, Extranet is in the standard. These are in the pro. Right? You can set your date format here. Okay, very important. You can set the 24-hour or 12-hour clock. All right. Some of you, must have 12 hours, others must have 24 hours. So that is all done in here. And then we'll get to that. Subscriptions, as you can see, you get 100 gigs, and you get unlimited here. Purchasing more is rather inexpensive, so you can get a terabyte for $1,000 a month. So you don't have to worry so much about space if you're in Bitrix24. The subscription itself. The other thing is your in your free version. If you go to subscription, there is the option to turn on a 30-day trial of the Pro. Okay, so that you can see how the time clock works. You can invite as many users as you want during that 30-day period, and you can get a feel for the Pro version. You might want to play with the free version for a little while first, and then switch it to the Pro. That might be something that you want to do. Okay, telephony settings. I'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and go to the here for telephony. Okay, telephony supports outgoing phone calls. Obviously, that is paid separately. Okay, but you can pay for phone calls. You can rent phone numbers in the United States, Canada, and the UK, and you can also connect a SIP. You can connect your SIP connector if you have that. So you can have as many incoming phone calls on a single line, or you can rent multiple phone numbers if you have if you need to separate your business in some way. So effectively, the telephony feature in Bitrix24 turns Bitrix24 into a PBX for your company. So as you saw, it integrates with the CRM. If you get if a phone call comes into comes to your line, it will be transferred to the responsible manager or to the queue that you set up. You can choose who it goes to. Okay, and you can choose if that person's not there, go to this person. If this person's not there, go to the next person. Okay, it is a comprehensive transfer system, and then of course you do get the events. The fact that there was a phone call with someone gets logged into the CRM right away, and the sales agent can make notes about that very quickly. Okay, SIP connectors, and then also there is a mail server. Let's look at this very quickly. Over here in my workspace, I can go to mail. I actually it looks like I have that here. Just a moment. Let me do this. Email integration options. I'm going to detach. Okay, I actually attached a mailbox. I'm going to detach that. Okay, and then you'll see if I go to mail, it goes to this page. Okay, so I get these mail options. I can create. What's today? The 5th, December 5. I can create a mailbox right here. Okay, so. Okay, if I hit that button, then I'm gonna create a mailbox, and it's going to be attached to the user account in this Bitrix24 instance. Okay, and then no. Okay, so now if I want to view the email, then I'm going to get this screen. I have to put in some information for that actual mailbox, okay, before I start using it. But it doesn't take very long, and the result is that I get a mail client like this. It opens up in a different tab, okay. But I've got my inbox, and your regular webmail interface right there, and then I will get a little number here when I have new emails there. Right? So if you have your own domain, you can use Bitrix24 as your email server. It is free, unlike Google. And so if you want to connect that, you simply put in the domain there, and then you attach, you go to the next screen. The next screen will ask you to put in various, your MX, MX information and things like that, and log in. And then, of course, you have to prove that you're the owner of the site by putting, by working from the end of your, by logging into your, registrar and changing your data. And then, of course, you can connect to an existing email address that you have. So if you have a Gmail address and you just want to use that, then you can go ahead and connect that. You click on Gmail, put in that, and then very much like the one in the CRM. Okay. So that is how that works. And then down here in the settings, manage email accounts, an administrator can actually create these Bitrix24.com email accounts for each of the users. So you can actually just create a whole bunch of email addresses that are specific to this Bitrix24 instance. That's particularly useful if this is a startup. Okay, for example, and you want to keep everything separate, including the email. And again, this is free. There's no charge for this, and you get as much space in your email box as you need. So that is, we have now come to the end. So I'll go ahead and